The format of tonight's meeting is to have a guest speaker share their experience, strength and hope on how the Alcoholics Anonymous program of Curry is working in their lives. For 15 to 20 minutes tonight we have asked Graham.
I guess that's my cue.
Yep.
Yeah, hi, I'm Graham, alcoholic, and sober today, and I'm a happy member of this organisation. I'm the secretary of the Mount Martha group for Sunday, 11 o'clock Sunday. You're all welcome down there. It's a terrific meeting, beautiful view over the bay, and good coffee in Mount Martha shops. I came to Alcoholics Anonymous some 7 years ago, and my first meeting was at the Mount Eliza group. When I got there, I could say that I could remember the last night that I hadn't had a drink, because it stood out. It was a single night I went out with my partner at the time, and it was the first date I went out with her down the country, and I had to drive, and I drove down the country, and we attended a musical event, and I drove home again. But that was that, you know, and it stood out like a beacon. I picked up a drink early when I was a young lad, and first drink I can remember at 13, and as I hear a lot, there's 3 bottles of Lilydale cider. My brother bought them for me because he wanted to keep me out of his him and his girlfriend's way while Mum and Dad were away. So I drank this and I vomited it all over the house, and I just loved the feeling, you know, and I chased that feeling. I'd drink with my friends. You know, we're 15-year-old boys. We're going down to the Harp on Friday nights and picking up bottles of Centano and Brand of Vino and sweet sherry and whatever else was cheap, and getting smashed. And here's a 15-year-old boy. I remember crawling home along the footpath because I was so drunk I couldn't stand up. You know, and 15-year-old boys shouldn't be doing that. You know. That sort of attitude or that way with alcohol just followed me every time I'd pick it up. I'd sort of almost I'd go to the end, you know, I'd just keep going. I remember going out at 18 when I got my licence. We used to go to the Prospect Hill Hotel and go and see Judges Up in the Falcons or some other band, and I'd just drink. I'd get smashed, and I put my little Morris Major on the tram lines from Kew to Bourne, and you know, it just fitted nicely on it, and just went around the corners and everything. It's fantastic. I just had to remember to stop at the end, you know, and so that's what I was like with alcohol, and what that did at that stage for me was that every event, social event or otherwise, I was drinking or wanting to drink, and it just coloured my experience of the event, so that I just didn't get to experience life as it was. And and being an insecure young fellow as I was, I had that feeling that many people have here of being a little bit different, of not being quite happy in my own skin, as it were. I was a gregarious, good-looking, fit, healthy kid. For all intents and purposes, I was intelligent, played music, had all these good things in my life. But something in here just made me feel uneasy. And drinking only helped to cover it up and stop me from becoming emotionally mature. When I got to about 21, I met a girl, and my folks had just split up. Now, my folks were good church-going sort of people, simple, didn't drink or smoke, or drank very little. Met my future wife. Her family love a drink and love a smoke, and I'm drawn to it like a moth to a flame. My family is sort of, you know, not doing so good, and here these people welcome me in, you know, come in, have a drink, have a smoke, and I'm going in that direction. And that's how I was like. I just sort of went in the direction that there was the alcohol and the good times. And I married that girl and had 3 kids, and they're 3 lovely kids, and fortunately I have a good relationship with them today. But as life progressed, and you know, I'd be drinking, and we would drink together and drink on social events or at the tennis club or what I used to. I'd find a drink in everything. You know, I'd run the tennis club. I'd have to go down to the tennis club 2 or 3 nights a week just to check something, clink clink in the back of the car with the beers and whatever else following me, and going camping, whatever it was. There was alcohol attached to it, and when I drank, I'd get to the end, and it just got worse and worse. And when I got to my 40s, and my wife and I started sort of becoming a little bit parallel, I was feeding off her emotionally. I would, if she was happy with me, I'd be feeling good about myself, and I'm trying to do things and for her to make her right. She's not happy, and I'm just continually frustrated here, and so I'd be out in the back shed having another beer, and the whole situation's just getting worse and worse. I'm drinking more and more. That marriage split up. I end up in a rental in Frankston, and I'm living with my son, and I'm staring at the back fence at night, ringing up people who'd listen, smoking a million cigarettes, and changing my drinks from beer to Jack Daniels, because I thought that was what was making me feel so crook in the middle of the night, just drinking too much. And for me, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired at the end every morning, feeling like shit, absolutely feeling like crap. The massive headaches, headaches that would, hangovers last for days, and just not sleeping at night as we do, getting the numbness in the hands and the arms in the night time. And life was just really, really hard. And I just got sick and tired of it. And I heard on the radio, there's a fellow on the radio from the Melbourne group speaking to Ernie Sigley one day, and he said, hey, if you've got a problem with alcohol, ring this number and see if you can get down to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I did that. And boy, I walked in that meeting, and there was that meeting that night. I had 4 speakers, and I don't know, I just lucked in. I had 4 speakers for an hour-and-a-half meeting, and they all had 30 years or more of sobriety, and they just lined me up and gave me both barrels, and I loved it. From the word go, I just loved it. I just felt like I took off this big backpack of worry that night. I just this mind full of, just a whole lot of stuff. I just took it off, and I felt comfortable, and I felt at home, and I felt accepted, and I felt loved, and the loneliness of the drinker, the internal loneliness of me drinking was very, very powerful, and those people just said, you're all right, and I just never felt all right, and they welcomed me in, and they just said to me, the magic words that just come to regular meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous and don't pick up a drink one day at a time. And I latched on to this like a kid. Here was a way out, because for years and years I've been drinking, and drinking after work every night, and drinking to the end, and having the fight with myself. Don't have a drink tonight. You've got work to do. I'm a tradie. I run my own business. I've got responsibilities. You've got to do a quote. You've got to do this. I'll just have one. And that went round and round and round for years, that same cycle, and I just couldn't break it. And these people just said, just come to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, don't pick up a drink one day at a time. And I would go home from work, and instead of picking up the drink, I'd get myself home, I'd make my dinner, I'd make my bed, I'd turn the light on, I'd do some washing, I'd get down to the meeting. If I was an hour early, I'd get down to the meeting. And I'd just be down there, I'd do the meeting, I'd help with the dishes, and I'd go home and I'd just get in the bed. I just didn't give it a chance to have a drink. And I did that for a month, and I took 2 months. I did it for 12 months. I just did it because I was loving it. I was loving being out of that horrible, narrow, paranoid, weird space. And I was loving the friendliness and the warmth and the love of the people in these rooms. And I started to feel good about myself. I started to like myself, and that's a really huge thing. I never liked myself. I was my own worst enemy. I used to beat the shit out of myself. Anything I did, someone could do better. I make gardens. I make fantastic gardens down on the peninsula, but other people go, oh, that's really good. but there'd always be a but for me. Oh yeah, but he could do it better, or that's not quite right. And I was always talking it down because I just thought that I just didn't match up. And that's not the way it is for me today. With the program, I've learnt to love myself, and I've heard other people say this. I've learnt to love myself. I've learnt to look after myself and to appreciate myself for just who I am, and to accept myself. And that acceptance word is such a huge word at AA. It's just to accept myself for just as I am. Ugly, bad, fat, pimples, whatever else. It's okay. I'm all right, and I'm a really good bloke. I never felt that way. I was always running around my life judging myself by other people's covers. I was incredibly reactive, and I really don't know how I operated. It's just incredible how my mind was working, and the trying to control my life around me, trying to control my kids. You know, if I could only get them to do this, I'd be happy. As it says in the book, you know, I'm running around trying to control the whole world. I'm the conductor, and no one wants to do it my way. And I'm getting resentful. I'm out in the shed drinking because they won't do it my way. I'm trying to work it all out instead of just letting it all go. And today I use the little sayings which they have here. You know, let go, let God, and think, and keep it simple. These are really fantastic little sayings, and I use them all the time. You know, when a problem arises or there's some difficulty in my life, I just kick in with those things. Hey, just let it go, you know. Let go and let God. And when they came here, they talked about having a higher power. And for me, I don't have this I don't have a affinity with a God or a God in the sky or anything like that. But I have this funny paradox going on for myself. I think it's a paradox is the word. I don't believe in that, but I have faith today. And I have this amazing faith that despite myself, life will just be fine. You know, life just sorts itself out nicely. And I have a sort of feeling that has come to my mind is that by looking after myself, by adopting good practices, by just adopting simple practices of life, just like eating well, drinking well, and helping an old lady cross the road if she asked me to, that I become an attractive person. And attractive people attract good things. And so if good things are happening to me, it's probably because I'm just damn well looking after myself. And I'm amazed now how situations that used to baffle me, and that's what it says in the book, where a problem will arise or something, and I think, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare. And nowadays I'm just going, well, I can't handle that. It's way out of my control. I just let it go. And almost miraculously, these situations resolve themselves, or something new will come in to change it, and often in my favour. And that sounds really a bit highfalutin and weird, but that's the way it works for me. The more I let things go, the more it seems to work out in my favour. Life just seems to go on really nicely without me getting my dirty fingers all over it. So my life today is really, really pretty good. I just adopt these practices. I'm just one hell of a lot of a calmer guy than I used to be. I feel good about myself. I have a fantastic relationship with the people in this fellowship, and I just put these steps. I routinely use these steps when I have difficulties, or when problems arise, or just even just running through it in my mind. I'm just using the program all the time in my life, and I refer to it constantly. So I'll leave it at that. It's a wonderful program. Thanks for having me. And it's all good. If you're new here, just do regular meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous, and just don't pick up that first drink. And it's as simple as that. Yeah. So thanks.
Very much.